Happy Saturday and welcome to the Keating Sports Center in Chicago, Illinois for another presentation of NCAA Division III men's basketball here on the Scarlet Hawks Broadcast Network and on YouTube Live. Today inside the Keating Sports Center, the Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawks look to bounce back from a loss in their season opener as they play host to the Rose Hulman Fighting Engineers. Once again, hello everyone, Chris Rouse here on the call. Illinois Tech coming in following a loss at the hands of Trine on Wednesday, but Coach TJ Gray with almost a brand new roster this season, hoping that his team can gain experience and also can turn things around today against the Fighting Engineers. Rose Hulman also coming in following a loss at the hands of Wabash in their most recent outing on Wednesday. So both teams looking to get their first win of the season. So someone will finally get into the win column here inside the Keating Sports Center, but the Scarlet Hawks will love to do it in front of the home crowd. Coach TJ Gray in his sixth season, once again coming with pretty much a new roster. A number of players out from last year's team have either graduated or have moved on to other schools via transfer. No Dario Biaggi, no Alan Watatani, no Joshua Iguati, no DeAndre Vortez, no Jace Gooley, but he does have returning this season Owen Walsh and, of course, Garrison Carter. Carter last season averaged 17 points a game for Illinois Tech, good for second on the team in terms of points per game average. Scarlet Hawks and Fighting Engineers, the introductions of the starting lineups and the national anthem coming up right now. So there are your starting lineups for this afternoon's contest. Here are the starting lineups for the Rose-Hulman Fighting Engineers, led by head coach Nick Sales in his 4th season. It'll be number 10, Daniel Savovich. Number 11, Christian Torres. Number 15, Joey Schmitz. Number 21, Nate Smith. And number 23, Cole Pride. Rose-Hulman wearing their maroon uniforms with white numbers, white letters, and gray trim. The Scarlet Hawks in their white uniforms with black numbers, black letters, and red trim. They'll start with number 2, Bryce Shoto. Number 5, Owen Walsh. Number 30, Garrison Carter. Number 22, Nicholas Ortiz. And number 11, Isaiah Dudley will jump against Cole Pride to begin on this Saturday afternoon inside the Keating Sports Center. We're glad you're joining us here on the Scarlet Hawks Broadcast Network and YouTube Live. The 2025-2026 NCAA Division III men's basketball season continues. Game 2 for both of these teams here in the Keating Center between the Scarlet Hawks and the Fight Engineers. And we get a foul as Christian Torres is fouled by Garrison Carter on the hold. Garrison Carter, this is his 64th game played for the Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawks, 63rd start. So he's been pretty much a starter since he's been on campus. Ball goes into the backcourt here for Rose-Hulman. Their opening possession with Nate Smith. Joey Schmitz, number 15, the leading scorer in their opener, had 20 points on Wednesday. Unfortunately for Rose-Hulman, it was a loss. They also missed on their first shot here. Savovich from the corner. Here's Garrison Carter on offense. Nicholas Ortiz in possession for the Scarlet Hawks. Ortiz and Carter both struggled with injuries a year ago. In fact, Ortiz missed Illinois Tech's big win against Wisconsin Lutheran last December. But here's Ortiz healthy, and of course the Scarlet Hawks happy to have him on the court. Bryce Shoto, the former member of the Oswego East Wolfpack, with the assist as he hits Ortiz for the corner 3, and the Scarlet Hawks open the scoring with a knockdown 3 from Ortiz. Rose-Hulman back on offense, second possession for the Fighting Engineers after a missed 3, their first trip down. Savovich off to Ortiz. This will be to Torres. Ball knocked away by Shoto, saved into Austin, and pushed up the floor for Illinois Tech. Walsh to the rim. Pride got there. I'm not sure if he actually blocked it, but Walsh left it short. Smith passing for Torres. Illinois Tech trying to match up defensively with this back and forth pace. Illinois Tech has been pushing the pace despite the 2 losses in the exhibition and, of course, in the season opener. But however, Illinois Tech in those 2 defeats, a 31-point loss to Indiana State in the exhibition, 22-point loss in the season opener against Trine. That's Nate Smith with the 2, and Nate Smith with the first points of the game. The first-year player out of Indianapolis, Indiana, gets Rose-Hulman on the board here on this Saturday afternoon. Coach T.J. Gray out in front of me here at the table with the instructions for his team. Ortiz with a high screen coming from Carter. Here's Shoto. Shoto back to Ortiz. Ortiz struggled to handle it. That will be an over and back violation as the Scarlet Hawks turn it over. Head coach T.J. Gray, his 6th season as the head coach of the Scarlet Hawks. 77th game for T.J. Gray as head coach. 27-49 in the previous 76. Of course, T.J. Gray and Ebenezer Nunu, the assistant coach, they've been here long before Illinois Tech's venture into the NCAA. They were assistant coaches for head coach Todd Kelly back in the USCAA days for Illinois Tech. But now Gray taking over with Illinois Tech, playing at the NCAA Division III level. Ortiz with the steal for the Scarlet Hawks. Ortiz drops it off to the trailer Carter, but Carter couldn't handle it, and a pair of turnovers for Illinois Tech, both involving Ortiz. Coach T.J. Gray wanting his team to settle it down here. As now Rose-Hulman will get Kobe Studemeyer into the ballgame for the first time this afternoon. The senior out of Jeffersonville, Indiana. Studemeyer was one of those it was a number of players last year for Rose-Hulman, which played in all 27 games. Studemeyer was one of those players. Coming off the bench here in this one, and ball handling guarded by his numerical counterpart, Bryce Shoto. Feed down low to Pride. Ball knocked away by Carter. And Rose-Hulman will keep possession with 17 on the shot clock. Nick Sales in his 4th season as the head coach of Rose-Hulman. Impressive through his first 82 games as their head coach, 46-36. That's the equivalent of an NBA season. So if he was coaching the NBA season, his record 46-36. And now here with Rose-Hulman looking to get the win. And we got a foul against the Scarlet Hawks. So Coach Sales 46-35 through those first 3 seasons. The 36th loss obviously occurring in Wednesday's loss to Wabash. An 85-68 loss for Rose-Hulman, where Rose-Hulman won the battle with points in the paint, but were outshot from beyond the arc as Wabash reined in 14 of 29 from beyond the arc. Cole Pride at the line here for Rose-Hulman, and he makes the first. We saw Pride earlier challenge that layup attempt from Owen Walsh on the other end. We mentioned the number of players that played 27 games last year for Rose-Hulman. Well, Pride is one of those 5 players, and he makes a pair of free throws to give Rose-Hulman the 4-3 advantage. Feeling out process here in these first 3 minutes. Carter gets it and swings it over to Walsh. Isaiah Austin, nice feed to Walsh as he drops it inside. Beautiful dive cut by Walsh. And that's something that Illinois Tech will get with Austin now, a player that maybe is more comfortable passing on the low block. We saw last year with Joshua Aguadi, Illinois Tech tried to play with him at the top and try to pass through the big man. They go with Austin on the low block. You have to honor Austin's 6'8 frame. Torres kicks it off to Schmitz. You have to watch Schmitz if you're Illinois Tech. Schmitz's pass knocked down by Carter, picked up by Savovich, and Savovich lays it up and in for 2. Savovich played 23 games a year ago for Rose-Hulman, averaged 9 points in those games. Gets his first 2 in this game. Here's Austin driving on Pride. Carter for 3 off the rim. Savovich and Torres, someone calls same, as Rose-Hulman gets the rebound. Savovich guarded by Ortiz. A lot of good matchups in this one. Pride and Austin. You got Shoto and Studemeyer. Even though Studemeyer came off the bench, that could be a fun matchup. Whoever's guarding Schmitz will be key for Illinois Tech because he can go right downhill, right-hand layup off the glass for 2. Schmitz with his first 2 of the game. Walsh over to Austin. A bit of a why not 3 for Illinois Tech as Austin misses, rebounded by Rose-Hulman with Torres. Kobe Studemeyer, guarded by Walsh. Christian Torres on the drive. Bit of a Euro step by Torres. He tried to kick it out, and he turns it over. And it will go to Illinois Tech. Trio of subs here for the Scarlet Hawks. Khalil Maxey, Nick Galati, and John Davis, the trio for the Scarlet Hawks. We got a timeout here. 15:40 to go here in the first half. It's 8-5 Rose-Hulman. We'll take a break. We'll be right back with more. You're watching NCAA Division III men's basketball on the Scarlet Hawks Broadcast Network and on YouTube Live. Back here at the Keating Sports Center in Chicago. This is NCAA Division III men's basketball on the Scarlet Hawks Broadcast Network and on YouTube Live. Scarlet Hawks trailing the Rose-Hulman Fighting Engineers 8-5 here in the early going of this early season matchup. Turnovers showing in the early going from both teams. Illinois Tech with a pair of turnovers. Rose-Hulman with 3. And we've only played 4 minutes and 20 seconds inside the Keating Center. Illinois Tech on offense with Ortiz passing into John Davis. John Davis led the way for Illinois Tech in their loss Wednesday to Trine. He comes off the bench today as Illinois Tech changes starters with Shoto starting in his place. Carter swings it over to Nick Galati, the senior out of right here in Chicago. He finds Ortiz. Ortiz, a bit of a stutter step, lost the ball, but he gets the steal right back. Great effort by Ortiz. 3-on-3. Carter goes in himself, lays it up and in. Nice move by Carter. Carter with the left-hand floater sort of left it short. It hit the front of the rim and rattled home. Carter with his first 2 of the afternoon. Studemeyer, you can feel the energy actually pick up here inside the Keating Center after that first timeout. Bit of a lengthy 4-minute and 20-second feeling out process. And now Carter picks up his second, and TJ Gray immediately jumped up after that foul, frustrated with Garrison Carter picking up his second. And now we'll get our first look of the afternoon at Igor Filipovic, sophomore out of Hungary, comes into the ball game. He goes 6'5", 200 pounds. And Filipovic will replace Carter. Carter just scored his first 2 points, but Carter already in foul trouble as Illinois Tech tries to settle in here. Shot clock at 20, the inbound coming from Rose Hulman. It'll be Joey Schmitz. Schmitz led the way in scoring for Rose Hulman a year ago, averaging 13 points a game. He scored 20 on Wednesday in the loss. He had a basket earlier where he just drove right downhill and scored, sort of how Studemeyer just did there, and laid it in off the right-hand glass with the front help from the rim. Studemeyer with his first 2, and Illinois Tech struggling with the downhill drives. You usually don't see an easy, just a downhill drive to the rim like that, get into the basket. But Illinois Tech struggling with protecting the rim. Out of bounds on the far side of the floor. It'll be Ortiz to trigger the inbound to Davis. Coach TJ Gray observing the action from his team as now he sends Austin to the table to check in. Isaiah Dudley set to check in. Ball knocked away and a foul. The whistle will go against Rose Hulman with Cole Pride, his first. So Dudley now will check into the ball game for Illinois Tech. So Dudley will replace Maxey. And now Pride comes in. Well, actually, Pride comes out for Rose Hulman, replaced by Will McElhenney. Ortiz lobs it in to Dudley. Dudley hands it off to Davis. Davis getting downhill himself. Nice finish by John Davis III. Bit of a curl as he laid it in off the window. And now Illinois Tech extends their defense. It appears to be full court man-to-man with Davis guarding Studemeyer. Davis, good job using the body to sort of get a feel for where Studemeyer was trying to go. 3-point attempt for Evan Gentili. Off the rim for Gentili. Rebounded by Filipovic. Coach Gray wanting the Scarlet Hawks to go. They're sort of flying up the court here with Ortiz, but now they get into the half-court set. Ortiz, right-hand layup. Great glide inside by Ortiz for 2. Ortiz up to 5. Illinois Tech back up 1. Joey Schmitz over to Studemeyer. Studemeyer across court to Schmitz. Schmitz got Ortiz on the closeout. He got into the air and then didn't know what he wanted to do with it. Usually leads to a turnover. Davis, left hand, corkscrew layup for 2. John Davis III. He has 4. Illinois Tech by 3. Coach Nick Sales and the Fighting Engineers, they want to talk about it. 13-10 Scarlet Hawks. 32nd time out by Rose Hulman. As Illinois Tech, the energy picked up after that initial timeout. And you see the Scarlet Hawks doing a good job of changing their lineup there. Coach TJ Gray going with Isaiah Dudley to provide more size on the floor. And it's sort of been one of the more consistent themes for Illinois Tech out of all the years that I've been coming to Illinois Tech to cover these games for men's basketball. So that goes back to the 2018. Illinois Tech has been they usually have a big man that stands about 6'8" and protects the rim. It used to be Max Hizataki. We saw Joshua Iguati last season. We've seen Andrew Vian in past years. Well, now it'll be Isaiah Dudley, who goes 6'8", the junior out of West Columbia, South Carolina, actually guarding the inbound pass from McElhenney as I speak. Daniel Savovich into the front court, guarded by Davis. Illinois Tech in a 1-2-2 zone, but it looks like they're going to break out. Savovich actually got lost by Davis. Then he lost the ball. However, it will stay here. Coach TJ Gray almost ran onto the floor after that call. And honestly, from my vantage point at the table, it appeared as if maybe Savovich just lost it. But the officials, they're closer, obviously, than we are on this side. Studemeyer inbounding here, gets it into McElhenney. Corner 3 for Rose Hulman, rebounded inside by Gentili. Good job on the offensive boards by number 3 in maroon. Reach-in foul, not called at first by Filipovic, but then the official caught him the second time. That was an interesting play by Igor Filipovic. The official, he gave him the grace. He gave him the first reach-in, which was a clear foul. Then the second effort by Filipovic to try to get the ball, and that reach-in was called. And Rose-Hulman now get a fresh 20 as the ball comes in to Stoudemire. Stoudemire guarded by Shoto, who re-enters the game. Shoto in his first start this season came off the bench on Wednesday against Trine. Nice drive inside for Rose-Hulman. The bounce pass leads to a missed layup from Murphy. McElhaney did a good job of feeding Murphy, but he couldn't finish. Davis up top to Dudley. Shoto swings it around to the corner. Omar Salman. Salman loses the ball, and it's scooped up by Rose-Hulman. Here's a three on the way from Gentili. That's off the right corner of the rim and out of bounds to Illinois Tech as Jack Murphy knocks it away. Coach T.J. Gray with instructions for his coaching staff, telling him he's not really liking some of the corner offense that he's seeing out of his Scarlet Hawks. But Illinois Tech still with a three-point advantage here. 12-10 remaining in the first half. Coming up at halftime, we will, of course, recap the first half, preview the second half as Illinois Tech and Rose-Hulman both looking for their first win of the 2025-2026 NCAA Division III men's basketball season. Shoto met by a double team. That was a great closeout by Smith and McElhaney. Dudley facing up. Face-up jumper for Dudley. In and out. Shot looked good out of the hand, but it hit the rim long. Pride on the defense. Nate Smith on the drive downhill. That's been there all afternoon for Rose-Hulman, but Smith left it short. Rebounded by Filipovic. Filipovic to the basket. Drops it off to Shoto. Nice finish. Illinois Tech. Bit of a three-man weave look there by Filipovic as he drove to the long side of the floor and dropped it off to Shoto for the right-hand layup from the left block. Scarlet Hawks by 5. Scarlet Hawks defense. That was a very good switch by Filipovic and Galati. The handoff now goes to Savovic. Savovic falls down. He keeps possession, and a whistle under the paint. A whistle in the paint here, under the basket. And we get a timeout. 15-10. Scarlet Hawks with the lead. The foul called on Galati for a hold. So Illinois Tech, despite the foul from Galati, Scarlet Hawks still maintain a 5-point advantage. 11:07 to go here in the first half. You're watching NCAA Division III men's basketball on the Scarlet Hawks Broadcast Network and YouTube Live. Back here live at the Keating Sports Center on the near south side of Chicago. Chris Rouse sitting courtside where the Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawks have a 5-point edge over the Rose-Hulman Fighting Engineers. Scarlet Hawks will be at home again on Wednesday when they take on the Lake Forest Foresters. We'll have that for you right here on YouTube Live and on the Scarlet Hawks Broadcast Network. 7 p.m. Wednesday, Scarlet Hawks versus the Foresters on Wednesday, November the 19th, as action resumes here inside the Keating Center. With Illinois Tech up 5 on the defensive end here. And the feed goes down low to Cole Pride. Good help defense by Illinois Tech. Schmitz drives inside. That's been too easy for Rose-Hulman as they've had about 3 or 4 baskets where it's just been a simple drive to the rim and lay it up and in for 2. John Davis III finds Galati. Galati picked up the foul prior to the break. Then he gets his shot rejected by Pride. Dudley and Schmitz on the held ball here. And Illinois Tech will maintain possession. Coach Nick Sales in his 4th season of at the helm of Rose-Hulman. 3rd place finish a year ago in the HCAC, the Heartland Collegiate Athletic Conference. This, of course, a non-conference matchup as they're taking on the Scarlet Hawks, representing the NAC, Northern Athletics Collegiate Conference. Scarlet Hawks a last place finish in conference a year ago. They did have the big win against Wisconsin Lutheran last December as Shoto misses. Rebounded by Rose Hulman. Nate Smith. So Torres, body contact and a foul as Ortiz goes down. 50-50 call there as Ortiz was definitely set. He beat Torres to that spot by maybe 3 steps. The officials are saying maybe Ortiz was moving here. I'm trying to listen in on the conversation as it's happening right in front of me. It appeared that he said Ortiz sort of shuffled a hip there as the contact was made by Torres. And really, I think it's because Torres was going for the Euro step, which sort of bailed him out. Dribble handoff leads to a 3 for Schmitz, and he knocks it down. Joey Schmitz, again, 370-plus points a year ago for Rose Hulman, as he led him in scoring with 372 to be exact. And he knocks down the 3 here. He had 81 threes a season ago. Here's Schmitz, guarded by Ortiz. Gets to the rim, kicks it out to Smith. Smith, pass to the corner. That leads to another 3. Savovich knocks it down. And just like that, Coach TJ Gray wants a timeout. 18-15 Rose Hulman. 30-second timeout for Coach TJ Gray. And for good reason. Rose Hulman a year ago, they shot 35% as a team from three-point land. And in their loss on Wednesday at the hands of the Wabash Little Giants, it was the three-point struggles that sort of could have been the pinpoint reason for why the Fighting Engineers struggled on Wednesday. They went 5 of 19 from three-point land on Wednesday. Schmitz buried a pair of those threes. He went 2 for 4. Torres and Gentili both had one as well, along with Studemeyer. So 5 of 19 from beyond the arc. But on the other end, Wabash shot 14 of 29 from three-point land in that game on Wednesday. Rose Hulman won the points in the paint battle, 40-36, but just too much long ball to overcome for the Fighting Engineers on Wednesday. The press in the backcourt here leads to a steal. Smith finds Torres as Rose Hulman extends their defense, and another steal. Schmitz running through the inbound pass, and a pair of quick baskets as Illinois Tech just struggling to get the ball in, and a foul in the backcourt as Savovich runs into Shoto. John Davis was getting set to check in for the Scarlet Hawks. The foul on Savovich is his first. Davis will replace Shoto, as now Illinois Tech will go with Ortiz and Davis in the backcourt, along with Filipovich, Galati, and Walsh. So not really a big out there for Illinois Tech. They have Filipovich. He's 6'5", with more forward height. Filipovich goes inside. That's a clear-cut foul as Pride had the hand on Filipovich as he was trying to drive downhill. Second foul against Pride. Team's third. Pride will come out of the ball game. McElhaney will come back in. Garrison Carter, despite having 2 fouls, will re-enter for Illinois Tech, the combo forward for the Scarlet Hawks. He will replace Walsh. So Coach TJ Gray, I think, going with Carter shows that he feels like this is a key point in the ball game, down 7 with just under halfway through this first half with just over 9 minutes to go. Here's Ortiz. Hesitation dribble guarded by Torres. Great defensive discipline. Filipovich on the drive. Filipovich with the right-hand shot, leaves it short. Rebounded by Ortiz. His shot put is off the rim as well. Rebounded by Smith. Those floaters for Illinois Tech, they are either long or short. And now a held ball in the backcourt will keep it with Rose Hulman. So the possession error at least will favor Illinois Tech if there's another held ball. But now the Fighting Engineers, with a 7-point advantage and 8:54 to go in the first half, will play it in the backcourt. Nate Smith, guarded by Carter. Dudley just walked past me here at the table for Illinois Tech. So again, more size could be coming. Smith, nice feed inside. A pass out to the corner for 3. It's good for Schmitz. That was a clear cut. The officials wanted to travel there as the ball was just dribbled and then passed to the corner. He went into the air, did Savovich. He went into the air and passed it. The entire coaching staff for Illinois Tech upset with that one. Galati to Ortiz. The hesitation, no good. Rebounded by Rose Hulman. Here's Savovich. Guarded by Davis. Over to Schmitz. Filipovich had eyes on the ball. taken out of the play by the screen. Schmitz to Savovich, another three. That's off the front of the rim. Carter able to volleyball the ball to a teammate in Filipovic. Here's Galati. Over to Carter. Carter finding Filipovic. Filipovic had that one stripped from behind by McElhaney as he drove inside. Here's Smith as he's fouled by Ortiz on the drive. The Scarlet Hawks coaching staff still frustrated in that non-call. They felt should have been a travel when Savovich went baseline and he went into the air and just dropped the ball for an extra dribble. Coach TJ Gray still eyeing the officials. He's going to look for an explanation. Media time out here at the Keating Sports Center. Rose Hulman winning those last two sessions of the ball game for sure. They lead it by 10, 25-15, Fighting Engineers. Scarlet Hawks searching for answers. Let's see if they can find any on the other side of this break here on the Scarlet Hawks Broadcast Network and on YouTube Live. Back here at the Keating Sports Center in Chicago, the Rose Hulman Fighting Engineers with a 10-point advantage. They lead at 25-15. Chris Rouse here on the call, sitting courtside. Coach TJ Gray and his coaching staff furious about a no call on what they felt should have been a travel a few plays ago, but now the Scarlet Hawks still just trying to adjust to Rose Hulman's offensive attack. Rose Hulman with a 10-point edge thanks to the 12 points from Joey Schmitz to lead the way. Rose Hulman 10 of 18 from the field, 55% to this point in the ballgame. Illinois Tech 7 of 16 from the field. Nicholas Ortiz leading the way with 5 points. Smith will go to the free throw line here, and he misses the first of the 1-and-1, rebounded by Isaiah Dudley. Dudley over to Ortiz. Illinois Tech still trying to figure out their rhythm. There are a lot of new players on this team, so the chemistry, of course, going to take a few games probably to get it into game speed. There's only really so much you can do in practice, but the Scarlet Hawks working at it here, down 10. Dudley to Ortiz. Ortiz finds Davis. Shot clock at 2. Shot clock at 1. Davis beat the horn and scores for 2. Davis lays it up and in. He now has 6 in the game. Scarlet Hawks down 8. Nate Smith over to Savovich. Savovich and Smith has caused all sorts of problems for the Scarlet Hawks, especially with the downhill driving to the rim. Davis, good job getting his hand in, rakes the ball away from Torres. Downhill drive for Davis, no good, as he left it off the window on the runner. Schmitz. Here's Savovich, corner 3. That's sort of been his spot. Savovich gets his own rebound, goes in with a left-hand layup, no good. McElhaney tried to tap it, he couldn't finish. Dudley all over McElhaney, and now a foul. If it's on Dudley, it's his second. It's not on Dudley. It will actually go to Owen Walsh, his first. Owen Walsh in his 47th career game for Illinois Tech. This is 8th career start. Walsh, of course, a key rotation piece for Illinois Tech last season. You pick up the foul here, and that will send Will McElhaney to the free throw line, the first-year player out of Union, Kentucky. Puts the ball in the air, and he makes the free throw. Pair of subs for Rose Hulman, Gentili and Studemeyer into the ball game now. McElhaney started in the season opener for Rose Hulman on Wednesday. He played 15 minutes to McElhaney, had 2 points. So this actually his first career trip to the free throw line as a collegiate athlete. And he made the first of the 2 free throws. Let's see if he can make this a perfect trip to start his collegiate career. And he does just that as Rose Hulman extends their lead to 10. And now McElhaney back to the bench. McElhaney and Murphy, first-year player taken out for the senior in Murphy. Murphy is senior out of Westport, Connecticut. Here's Ortiz. Scarlet Hawks down 10. Here's Davis. Screen from Dudley. Davis double team. They find Ortiz, but great close by Rose Hulman defensively. Ortiz lays it up and in, and the foul for Nicholas Ortiz. Great job turning the corner on that curl off the screen. And once Ortiz had the defender swiping down, good wrist strength to go through the contact and lay it up and in for 2. Studemeyer on the foul. Ortiz has 7 in the game. Ortiz, of course, one of the primary ball handlers for Illinois Tech a season ago. Played in only 7 games due to injury for Illinois Tech, but he hits the free throw. Last season, Ortiz only played 7 games, 19 trips to the free throw line, made 14 of those shots. He was a 73% free throw shooter. His most recent free throw cuts the Illinois Tech deficit to 7. Studemeyer, guarded by Dudley. That's a long 3 for Rose Hulman, and it's a long rebound for Torres. They missed at the left angle, rebounded at the right angle. Here's Studemeyer. He kicks it over to Gentili. Gentili, nice drive baseline. Nice drive and drop to Torres, who lays it up and in. That was a beautiful play by Gentili as he drove baseline. He left that ball where only Torres could get it. Torres sort of fumbled it, but once he picked it up, all he had to do was lay it up and in. Everyone was sort of defended by the rim as he had an easy lay-in. Corner 3 for Illinois Tech is missed by Salmon. A battle down low, and it leads to a foul against Illinois Tech. And neither of these guys, I don't think the Scarlet Hawks want this to go against either guy. As actually they're saying, one official was signaling foul. They're going to say actually out of bounds here. So it'll be Rose Hulman inbound with 5:27 to go in the first half. So no foul, just a normal out of bounds over to Rose Hulman. Studemeyer picked up in the backcourt by Salmon. And a foul, moving screen there on Murphy. Murphy did a good job of actually getting set for the screen, but the issue was once the contact was made with Salmon, he sort of moved with him. And you can sort of see the official explaining that to Coach Sales as he goes back down the court. And that'll turn it over to Illinois Tech. Filipovic, wide open free throw line jumper. Couldn't get it to go. Good job by Dudley. Dudley leaves it long as he went up strong with 3 defenders on him. Rebounded by his numerical counterpart, Torres. Studemeyer runs right into Galati. Gentili guarded by Ortiz. Nice shot. That was a pure-looking jumper from Gentili as he puts it right over Ortiz. Illinois Tech had cut the deficit down to 7. Rose Hulman with a pair of baskets to get it back to 11. And a foul as now Galati actually spared a turnover as Murphy had his hand out, just happened to have his hand out as Galati fumbled the ball. And throughout all of my years of calling basketball, the officials, men's or women's, they say anytime you catch that defender swiping down, more than likely it's going to lead to the foul. Because from the official's perspective, more often than not, you are making contact with the arm when you swipe down. Dudley on the handoff to Davis. Davis to Galati. Galati thought about the first 3. Escape dribble, misses the second look that he had, as now it's rebounded by Rose Hulman. Feel like maybe Galati took himself out of rhythm with the escape dribble. Meanwhile, Rose Hulman missing the other way, rebounded by Shoto. Filipovic eyeing the basket, but he gives it up. Dudley inside, rejected by Torres. No, Dudley goes 6'8", Torres 6'6". Torres able to swipe down and get the block there, and it leads to a corner 3 from Schmitz. Schmitz has 15 to match his jersey number, and the lead is 14 for Rose Hulman. Coach TJ Gray continuing to send players off the bench to the table as he looks for that right combination. And now a foul as Galati drives inside. The 3 from Filipovic will not count. And that's unfortunate for Illinois Tech. Scarlet Hawks down by 14 points. Rose Hulman led by 15 from Joey Schmitz. Thoroughly in control as we get set to conclude this first half on the other side of this break. You're watching NCAA Division III men's basketball here on YouTube Live and on the Scarlet Hawks Broadcast Network. Rose Hulman by 14 when we return. Head coach TJ Gray and the Scarlet Hawks break the huddle here with 3:43 remaining in the first half. Scarlet Hawks trailing by 14, 34-20 at the hands of the Rose-Hulman Fighting Engineers. Both teams 0-1 to begin the 2025-26 season. Scarlet Hawks with a number of new players, a lot of transfers, a lot of first-year players. But here's Nick Galati, a senior out of right here in Chicago, attended St. Patrick. Galati stepped to the free throw line with a 1-and-1, and he hits the first to ensure that he will get the second try. Rose-Hulman led by 15 right now from number 15, Joey Schmitz. 372 total points a year ago for Schmitz to lead the way for Rose-Hulman. He also led them in average at 13 a game. He led them in scoring on Wednesday with 20 and picking up where he left off, leading the way with 15 here. Galati makes both. Scarlet Hawks down 12. Studemeyer into the front court for Rose-Hulman. Guarded by Davis. High screen coming from Murphy. Khalil Maxey guarding the ball, number 35 for Illinois Tech in the game. Nice feed down low on the dive and a backdoor pass by McElhaney, and it's a missed layup from Murphy. Shoto breaks out of the pack. Left hand layup is good. Shoto in a heartbeat. Illinois Tech back within 10. Scarlet Hawks had cut their deficit to 7 at one point, but Rose-Hulman went on a stretch of 3 straight possessions with baskets as Studemeyer misses the 3 here. Gentili with the offensive rebound. Studemeyer thinking about it. Lets it fly that time. Ball knocked away and now rebounded by Illinois Tech. Filipovic dribbling into the front court. Coach Gray wanted a pass. He wanted them to hit Shoto, who's in the corner. Filipovic has been holding it for a while here and almost a turnover. Actually, it is a turnover, but it will be for both teams. So Filipovic turned it over to Rose-Hulman, and Studemeyer got the steal. And as he got the steal, Gentili ran right into Studemeyer's back, and he lost the ball out of bounds to Illinois Tech. So both teams credited or charged a turnover on the stat sheet as Coach TJ Gray and Igor Filipovic have a discussion right next to me at the table. John Davis III in possession. Up to Ortiz. Davis tried to hop on the dribble, almost lost the ball out of bounds. Davis, cross court to Shoto. Shot clock at 2, shot clock at 1. Shoto passed it, and he turned it over. Shot clock violation for Illinois Tech. Illinois Tech had a fresh 20 in the front court there, but still couldn't manage to get a shot up. Davis did a good job of dribbling to create space, but when he found Shoto, I don't think Shoto realized the shot clock was at 2, and he drove baseline to hit Davis for a 3, which led to the violation. That was the 8th turnover for Illinois Tech. Schmitz downhill to the basket. That's been too easy for Rose-Hulman. They have owned the battle in the paint this afternoon against Illinois Tech by just getting to the rim. However, when you look at the numbers, it's only 16-14 in the paint. But Rose-Hulman, with how easy those baskets have occurred, you would think they're way up on the board as they were on Wednesday in their loss to Wabash. Davis back outside to Ortiz. Ortiz guarded by McElhaney. Shot clock at 2. Ortiz beat the horn, but he missed the shot. Rebounded by Smith. Here's Schmitz. Schmitz, nice escape dribble on the Euro, but he missed the shot. Galati got knocked to the floor. He and McElhaney both took the contact. Davis feeds inside to Maxey. Maxey is bumped and fouled. The foul will go against Nate Smith with 1:15 to go here in the first half. That'll put Khalil Maxey at the line, the junior out of right here in Chicago. Chicago High School for Agricultural Sciences, commonly known as Chaz to the locals here in Chicago. Maxey stepping to the stripe, and here's the first. Maxey, the Southside kid. Chaz over there on 111th. Maxey here playing at Illinois Tech right here on 31st Street. If you know anything about the Southside geography of Chicago. And now Maxey able to hit both as Illinois Tech cuts their deficit to 10. I'm really interested in seeing that first 5 minutes of the second half because Illinois Tech has had their stretch of runs. Rose-Hulman has had their stretch. And while Rose-Hulman does have the advantage by 10 on the scoreboard, It does feel like Illinois Tech, there may be a couple of threes away, but Schmitz knocks down another three for Rose Hulman. He's up to 20 in the first half as Rose Hulman extends their lead to 13. Ortiz finding Galati. Galati looking for Shoto. Good hands by Smith as he knocks that ball to the scorer's table into the passing lane. The first-year player out of Indianapolis, Indiana. Scarlet Hawks trying to get Carter in for the final 39.8. Carter will replace Shoto. And also, Sam Piontek comes into the game, the junior out of St. Louis, Missouri. Attended Chaminade coming onto the floor. Carter maybe got away with a bit of a walk as he hands the ball off to Davis. Back up top. Ortiz with the shot clock at 1. Illinois Tech continuing to let the shot, use the entire shot clock, having to take desperation shots. Smith. Into the front court, shot clock off for Rose Hulman. This likely will be the last possession of the half. Savovich, guarded by Maxey, kicks it over to Smith. Smith wanted to hit Piontek, but instead he'll hold it himself. He now goes to Savovich. Savovich to beat the horn, in and out, rebounded by Ortiz. And at the half, the Rose Hulman Fighting Engineers have a 13-point edge over the Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawks. 39-26, our halftime score. Joey Schmitz with 20 points to lead all scores for Rose Hulman. Nicholas Ortiz with 8 to lead the way for Illinois Tech. Coach TJ Gray and his coaching staff, they'll head into the locker room looking to adjust to this deficit and looking to respond. Let's see what answers the Scarlet Hawks come up with on the other side of this break. Also coming up, we'll recap the first half, preview the second half, all of that coming up at halftime here on YouTube Live and on the Scarlet Hawks Broadcast Network. Halftime inside the Keating Sports Center in Chicago. NCAA Division III men's basketball action here on YouTube Live and on the Scarlet Hawks Broadcast Network. A brand new season of Illinois Tech hoops action, men's and women's, on the way here for you inside the Keating Sports Center. Our next presentation of Illinois Tech men's basketball will be on Wednesday, November the 19th, right here inside the Keating Sports Center. That will be at 7 p.m. when the Scarlet Hawks play host to the Lake Forest College Foresters. Of course, Illinois Tech would love to have their first win of the season by the time they go into their matchup on Wednesday against Lake Forest. But if the Scarlet Hawks are unable to bounce back from this 13-point deficit, Wednesday will be their next attempt to go for their first win of the season. But still plenty of time to be played here inside the Keating Sports Center, where the Scarlet Hawks currently trail by 13 points, 39-26, here at the break. First half stats. First for the Rose Hulman Fighting Engineers. Rose Hulman led, of course, in scoring by Joey Schmitz at halftime. Schmitz with 20 points in the ballgame, 8 of 11 from the field, 4 of 5 from three-point land. A much better three-point shooting effort today for Rose Hulman. They went 5 of 19 on Wednesday. They're sort of in the same neighborhood, but at least they had the 5 threes in the first half today. The Fighting Engineers 15 of 34 from the field for 44%, 5 of 16 from 3 in the first half for 31%, and of course 4 for 5 at the free throw line for 80% in that first half. Smith had the lone free throw miss for Rose Hulman right near the end of the first half. For Illinois Tech, 10 of 27 from the field, 37%. 1 of 7 from three-point land, 14%, and 5 of 5 perfect at the free throw line. And a couple of the key stats, Rose Hulman 22-15 advantage on the boards, including 8-3 in offensive rebounds. Rose Hulman, to this point of the ballgame, doing a great job controlling the glass. And it also seems as if they're controlling the paint, but really points in the paint, only +2 for Rose Hulman, 16-14. They also have a +6 second chance points. That's a big assist to that, coming to their offensive rebound edge, 8-3. 8 of those offensive rebounds leading to 6 second chance points. Illinois Tech scoreless off of their 3 offensive rebounds to this point in the ballgame. Also for Illinois Tech, Nicholas Ortiz leading the way with 8 on 3 of 8 shooting. Bryce Shoto adding 6 for the Scarlet Hawks, and then they have 4 from John Davis III. We know Schmitz has 20 to lead all scorers for Rose Hulman, but also Savovich with 5, and then Christian Torres adding 4 for Rose Hulman in terms of the individual scoring leaders. One of the key storylines in the second half will definitely be foul trouble for Illinois Tech. The Scarlet Hawks in that first half, they actually equaled Rose Hulman in free throw attempts. 4 of 5 Rose Hulman, 5 of 5. So actually, free throws aren't really telling the story either way, but 8 fouls against Illinois Tech, including fouls to key players. Garrison Carter had 2 and had to sit most of that first half. He played only 8 minutes in the first half for the Scarlet Hawks. Ortiz also with 2 fouls, playing 16 minutes. But, of course, if you're Illinois Tech, those are the 2 guys that you don't want in foul trouble. The same 2 guys that struggled with missing games last season. Ortiz, who missed most of the season with injury. And, of course, Carter, who throughout his career has been key for Illinois Tech. But, once again, that's not a guy that you want to have in foul trouble, because the combo forward for Illinois Tech has been unable to break down the defense and create offense for others, being a presence on that Scarlet, not being a presence on the floor since he's been on the bench. He's been unable to be a presence on the floor, and that's certainly something Illinois Tech needs, is number 30 in white out there creating problems for the opposing team. Rose Hulman starting to come back onto the court as they get ready to take the floor for second half action. We'll take a quick break, and when we return, we'll preview the second half between the Fighting Engineers and the Scarlet Hawks right here inside the Keating Sports Center. We'll take a break. When we return, NCAA Division III men's basketball on YouTube Live and on the Scarlet Hawks Broadcast Network continues after this. Back here inside the Keating Sports Center in Chicago. Halftime here in NCAA Division III men's basketball action. Non-conference game here as the Rose-Hulman Fighting Engineers have a 13-point lead over the Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawks. Our next presentation of Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawk athletics will be on Tuesday, when it will be the home opener for head coach Carissa Sane and the Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawks women's basketball team. They'll take the floor on Tuesday, November the 18th at 7 p.m. as they'll take on the Eureka College Red Devils. So Coach Carissa Sane and the Scarlet Hawks women's basketball team 0-2 thus far on the season after losses to Spalding University and Principia on Friday and Saturday. They'll actually take on Beloit College tonight, or this evening at 5 p.m. out in Beloit, Wisconsin. But the Scarlet Hawks women's basketball team will take the floor for the first time at home on Tuesday against Eureka, and then they will be back in action on Thursday, November the 20th at 6 p.m. as the Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawks women's basketball team will see the North Park Vikings. So 3 opportunities to see Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawks hoops here inside the Keating Center. Tuesday at 7, Eureka College. It'll be Illinois Tech women's basketball against Eureka College. Wednesday at 7, it'll be men's basketball against Lake Forest. The Foresters come here to Chicago. And then Thursday the 20th at 6 p.m., women's basketball against the North Park Vikings. That's also not the only Illinois Tech athletics team. Those are not the only Illinois Tech athletic teams worth watching. There are other Illinois Tech teams that are making waves at the NCAA level. In the NCAA tournament, the Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawks women's soccer team with a 1-0 win in their first round matchup as they were able to beat Grove City College 1-0 yesterday to advance to the second round of the NCAA Division III women's soccer tournament. It was Kelly Hitchcock with the goal in yesterday's matchup for Illinois Tech in the 62nd minute. So Illinois Tech will also be in action today in approximately 10 minutes, getting ready to take on the Calvin University Knights in NCAA Division III women's soccer tournament action. So Illinois Tech with 3 basketball games coming up here at the Keating Sports Center on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And, of course, the Scarlet Hawks support continues for the NCAA Division III women's soccer tournament as women's soccer gets ready to take on the Calvin Knights today, coming up in approximately 10 minutes. Second half action between the Scarlet Hawks and Fight Engineers getting ready to continue here inside the Keating Sports Center. We mentioned foul trouble for Illinois Tech in that first half being one of the keys. But on the other end, one thing I think Rose-Hulman will have to watch for is those spurts from Illinois Tech. Despite Illinois Tech being down 10 and being down 14 at different points in that first half, the Scarlet Hawks have battled back to get within 7 and within 5 at separate points. However, Rose-Hulman able to turn it around with quick buckets, most of them coming from Joey Schmitz in that first half to regain and reclaim advantage of a 13-point lead. Halftime getting ready to conclude. We'll take one last breather, and when we return, the ball will be inbounded, and the Scarlet Hawks and Fighting Engineers will switch sides here inside the Keating Sports Center. Second half action between the Scarlet Hawks and Fighting Engineers coming up after this quick breather inside the Keating Sports Center. 39-26, Rose-Hulman by 13 at halftime. Second half action getting ready to begin right here inside the Keating Sports Center in Chicago. The Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawks playing host to the Rose-Hulman Fighting Engineers. Chris Rouse sitting courtside here at the Keating Sports Center, where the Scarlet Hawks in their white uniforms with black numbers and letters with red trim will now head to the north basket. That'll be left to right on your screen at home. Rose-Hulman in their maroon uniforms with the white numbers and letters and the gray trim will go to the south basket the opposite direction. Walsh to inbound to Shoto. And the second half underway here inside the Keating Sports Center in Chicago. Scarlet Hawks down 13, and immediately they feed it to the usual suspect, Garrison Carter. Left-hand layup, too easy for Garrison Carter. Carter only with 4, but remember, he only played 8 minutes in that first half due to foul trouble. And now Illinois Tech, on their first possession, they feed the combo forward for 2. Carter in his career averaging 14 a game for Illinois Tech. This, of course, is 64th game played for the Scarlet Hawks. Shoto to the rim. Left-hand layup is good. And you see the Scarlet Hawks off the rim and up the floor. 2 quick buckets. First Carter, now Shoto, as the energy picks back up inside the Keating Sports Center. Nate Smith into the front court. Bit of a miscommunication defensively by Dudley and Ortiz. The Scarlet Hawks fans getting into it here. Smith picked up by Ortiz. Nice drive inside. He fed Torres on the pass. Savovich didn't know if he wanted to give it up or shoot it. He decided to shoot. Missed and rebounded by Torres, and a foul. This will be a holding foul against Walsh. The official actually saying he did the swipe down motion there. So Walsh picks up his second foul. And that will put Christian Torres at the line, the junior out of Georgia. Goes 6'6", 200 pounds. He's out of Lula, Georgia, to be exact. 4 points for Torres to this point of the game, and he missed the first. First free throws of the day for Torres, 4 points, 8 rebounds. And now Torres will try to at least salvage this trip for the Fighting Engineers, but he's unsuccessful in his efforts. Illinois Tech into the front court, down by 9. Able to score on their first 2 possessions of this second half and shut Rose Hulman out on their first 2. Shoto had it stripped away by Smith. Ortiz almost a reach-in foul as he held Pride in the backcourt. Now here's Smith. Cole Pride. Pride sort of traveled. Yeah, Pride didn't put it down. We saw that earlier where Garrison Carter sort of got away with a walk on a dribble handoff. Pride was trying to dribble to the rim, and he shuffled the feet definitely before he put it down, and now he'll turn it over. We played 91 seconds in the second half. Shoto into the front court, over to Ortiz, guarded by Savovich. He had Dudley on the roll, but he went to Walsh. Shoto had to look. Shoto went inside. He missed it. Good job by Torres to deflect it away from Shoto, who tried to put it back in. Shoto knocked it free. Dudley lays it up, and Dudley's fouled. Great play by Shoto, who despite missing, he stayed with the ball. Then he knocked it free. That led to Dudley recovering the loose ball, and Isaiah Dudley was fouled, and now Dudley will go to the free throw line. 6'8", 200 pounds, the junior out of West Columbia, South Carolina. Dudley will step to the stripe, looking again to cut points off this Illinois Tech deficit to start the second half, and he hits the first. First points of the game for Dudley. He was 0 for 5 prior to that from the field. That's his first free throw attempt. He makes it. 5 rebounds, 2 assists for Dudley. And now 2 points. So Dudley, the equivalent of a field goal, but still yet to make one as he's missed all 5 shots taken from the field. Here's Schmitz up the court for 3. And the Illinois Tech fell asleep defensively as they lost Schmitz. Schmitz now with 23 in the ball game. He's 9 of 12 from the field, 5 of 6 from downtown. Timeout rolls Hulman. Nick Sales and his Fighting Engineers lead it by 10. We'll actually keep it here despite the timeout, but just when it seemed as if Illinois Tech had momentum shifting in their direction, they scored the first 6 of the half. Rose Hulman gets up the court, and they hit Schmitz for a quick 3. And just like that, the deficit back to double digits for the Scarlet Hawks. Coach T.J. Gray, a lot of new faces on this Scarlet Hawks roster, but he's also got some familiar faces on the coaching staff. He has, of course, Derek Faulkner and Ebony Jr. Ebony Jr. was on the team a season ago, number 44 for the Scarlet Hawks. Ebony was a grad student. You can see him right there sort of holding the papers right in the middle of the Scarlet Hawks huddle when the camera shifts back toward the Scarlet Hawks sideline. But now Illinois Tech with Faulkner and Jr. showing that Coach T.J. Gray liking it that he likes to keep players that have been in the program on his coaching staff. And so Coach T.J. Gray in Illinois Tech sort of keeping it in the family with Faulkner and Ebony Jr. joining the coaching staff. There's T.J. Gray right in front of me here. You can see him in that bottom right corner of the screen with the instructions for his team. And now the ball is in. Shoto will trigger it in as Illinois Tech looks to adjust to the 2-2-1 full court press from Rose Hulman. Here's Shoto. Gives it up to Ortiz in Illinois Tech into the front court. Shoto guarded by Smith. A lot of holding on this possession for Illinois Tech. Ortiz with a screen from Dudley. He wanted to hit Dudley, but he couldn't quite drop it into him. Shot clock is at 6. Owen Walsh in the corner. He lost it. Dudley beats the horn at 2. He missed it. Carter had the ball. Then he had it knocked away from him. And it's knocked out of bounds by Pride of Rose Hulman. Coach Sales saying that he wanted his team to grab the ball there. And now here is John Davis III back in. He'll replace Walsh. Shot clock at 19 for Illinois Tech as they will inbound under their offensive goal. Bryce Shoto had to go to the lower level of the Keating Center to recover the ball here. Inbound pass to Dudley, deflected away by Smith, and now stolen by Rose Hulman. Smith ahead of the pack, lays it up and in. Well, he started the steal. It was only right he finished the play on the other end. Smith with the deflection, Smith with the bucket, Smith with 4 points. Ortiz over to Shoto. Guarded by Smith. Ortiz guarded by Savovich. Dudley gives him the screen. There's the pocket pass from Ortiz. Dudley still working but can't quite get the ball up. Ortiz will shoot a 3 off the rim. Rebounded by Torres. Illinois Tech finally got the position they wanted out of that pick and roll, but Dudley really wasn't in a comfortable position to shoot. He kicked it out to Ortiz. Ortiz couldn't convert. Schmitz driving baseline. Corkscrew layup. No good. Rebounded by Pride. Ortiz in the passing lane, but no one there to recover the deflection from Ortiz. Well, the player there that was there was for Rose Hulman. Schmitz for 3. Another one. Cash money from that corner. Same spot, same result. Schmitz with 26. And all 6 points he has in the second half have come from that corner in front of his bench. He gets a steal now to feed Savovich. Carter with the rejection. Nice block by Garrison Carter. Pair of subs here, 1 for each team. Will McElhaney back in to replace Pride for Rose Hulman, 33 for 23. And now Filipovich, Igor Filipovich, number 21 in for Illinois Tech. He'll replace Dudley, 21 for 11. Smith on the inbound. Gets it into Savovich with 24 on the shot clock. Savovich lost it, recovered by Carter. Filipovich to the rim. Filipovich rejected by Torres. And it will stay with Illinois Tech. 25 on the shot clock for Illinois Tech as they try to get that right on the shot clock on the south end, or actually on both ends of the floor here at the Keating Center. Here's Carter. Scarlet Hawks headed towards that north basket. And here is Filipovich. Ortiz out high on the drive. Ortiz to the rim. Not sure if that was a pass or a deflection, but it hit Filipovich. Filipovich had it deflected away. Ortiz corner 3. Knock it down for Ortiz. He has 11. Scarlet Hawks back within 12. They're going to take their struggles from downtown, sort of deciding this one. Rose Hulman shooting 6 of 17, or actually 7 of 18 for 3. Davis with the steal. Davis, cross court to Carter. Dangerous pass, but it worked out for Illinois Tech because Carter cashed it in. Usually they teach you, coaches teach you never pass it across the lane like that on the skip pass, but Davis hit Carter for a perfect 3, corner to corner. Smith, guarded by Filipovich. Ortiz knocked it down. Schmitz for 3. Finally missed one in the second half to Schmitz. Davis to Shoto to the rim. Shoto is fouled, and he'll go to the line. Illinois Tech back with the 9 as Shoto goes down. He was fouled by Torres, I believe. Torres was the player defending the shot. And Shoto popping right back up. Shoto, a sophomore out of Plainfield, Illinois. Attended Oswego East High School. The former member of the Wolfpack, played for head coach Ryan Velasquez, which means he had often had appearances in the local Hinsdale Central Holiday Classic tournament. But Shoto now, when we return, will go to the free throw line as Illinois Tech trails by 9, but the momentum started to shift in favor of the Scarlet Hawks. Rose Hulman leads it 47-38. Shoto at the free throw line when we return to the Keating Center after this break. (47-38) our score here inside the Keating Sports Center. This is NCAA Division III men's basketball taking place live here on the near south side of Chicago, Illinois. The Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawks trailing by 9, 47-38 the score. But Bryce Shoto, the sophomore out of Plainfield, Illinois, will step to the stripe. Shoto to this point of the ball game with 6 for Illinois Tech. He actually started in the season opener on Wednesday against Trine, which unfortunately for Illinois Tech was a 22-point loss, 88-66. 6 for Shoto. He's 3 of 4 from the field. He's stepping to the stripe for the first time this afternoon, and he misses the first. Illinois Tech led by Ortiz. He has 11. Of course, Schmitz leads the way for Rose Hulman. He has 26. Shoto missing both. And the ball rebounded inside by the aforementioned Joey Schmitz, the leading scorer. 10 of 15 from the floor is Schmitz, 6 of 8 from 3. Studemeyer, guarded by Shoto, who knocked it free. McElhaney had it, then he lost it. Carter deflected it. Schmitz goes inside, and finally Rose Hulman gets a favorable play. Illinois Tech, on every pass of that possession, got a hand on the ball. But unfortunately for the Scarlet Hawks, the favorable play was Schmitz drawing the foul. And it just seems like once Illinois Tech gets within about 9, 7, or 5, Rose Hulman strings together maybe a pair of baskets to keep the Scarlet Hawks at bay. Schmitz makes the first. Behind the play, Nick Galati, you can see him at the bottom of your screen, enters the game, replacing Shoto. 27 for Schmitz. Looking to extend that Rose Hulman lead to 11, but he misses. Ball knocked out of bounds. It will go to Illinois Tech. Dudley had a hand on it, but McElhaney's hand knocked it away from Dudley, and that will keep it with Illinois Tech. So Dudley, while he did have a hand on it, was not the last to touch it. McElhaney knocked it free. Here's Davis. He gives it up to Galati. 2-3 zone here for Rose Hulman, who actually sort of shifting his zone. It's been 2-3, 3-2, 1-2-2. Carter goes inside. He misses. Rebounded by McElhaney. Carter almost got up and got a steal. Studemeyer, cross court. Schmitz, that's been his spot, and for good reason. He's cashing them in from that corner. He's got 30 points in the game. He's 3 for 4 from 3 in this second half. Carter up top to Davis. Davis tried to drive through a double team. Gentili knocked it free. Outlet pass for Schmitz. Free run to the rim, but it's blocked by Galati. Schmitz was ahead of Galati. I thought he was going to get a free layup there. He actually hesitated. That allowed Galati to get back into the play and block the shot. Rose Hulman possession. 26 on the shot clock. Scarlet Hawks trying to get Ortiz into the game, and he'll replace Filipovic. Stoudemire inbounded it and got it right back on the dribble handoff from Murphy. Stoudemire over to McElhaney. Entry feed to Murphy, guarded by Carter. Carter didn't really throw the arm at him, but it looked as if he had the strength advantage until Murphy went down low. He got the finesse advantage, dropped the ball in for 2. Murphy with his first points of the game, 1 of 3 from the field. 15-point lead for Rose Hulman. Dudley, pass to the corner. Galati for 3. Scarlet Hawks sort of needed that one. He couldn't hit it. Rebounded by Gentili. Gentili up to Schmitz. Wide open under the rim is Murphy for another 2. Run the floor, big man. Jack Murphy did just that. And he essentially got a birthday gift layup, uncontested. Hit him inside for the easy 2. Murphy with 4. Schmitz with his first assist following that basket for Murphy. Galati driving to Dudley. Dudley inside. Dudley brought the ball down. That allowed Gentili to sort of get into the play, but it led to the foul. And the foul, of course, will go against Evan Gentili. Second against Gentili. And now Dudley will step back to the stripe for Illinois Tech. Just when Illinois Tech rallied to cut that double-digit deficit down, they got it back down to 9 points. Rose Hulman with Schmitz, who's actually going to the bench now, able to extend that lead back out to 17 points. That's the largest lead of the evening, or the afternoon, for Rose Hulman. Scarlet Hawks led by as many as 5 back in the first half at 15-10. That was with 11:52 to go in the first half. 55-40. Maxey back in, number 35, guarding the ball here for Illinois Tech. Stoudemire picked up by Ortiz. McElhaney sets the screen in the backcourt. Ortiz switches out man-to-man defensively. High screen from Murphy leads to the switch by Carter. Stoudemire down to the right block. Did he travel? And he did. So Stoudemire with that shuffle of the feet. And you often see that at the collegiate, more so at the preps level. But sometimes it sneaks its way into the NCAA D2, D3 levels. Players trying to stop on the dime. They really don't have the body discipline to just stop on the dime as the way Stoudemire sort of tried to do it. So when you stop, you shuffle your feet, and that leads to the travel, and in this case, a turnover. Here's Ortiz. Over to Shoto. 2-3 zone here for Rose Hulman. They're just trying to keep the Scarlet Hawks from getting easy layups. Ortiz out to Carter. Carter driving to the baseline. Carter turnaround jumper. A good jumper from Garrison Carter as he was able to get that one to fall. Big basket there from Garrison Carter. The combo forward has it working. He now has 9. Stoudemire guarded by Shoto. That's great defense out high. Stoudemire is running Shoto through a number of screens, but he's staying with him. Finally a switch where Stoudemire gets Maxey. Stoudemire falling away, missed it, and he missed it right into the hands of Maxey. Galati into the front court. Carter, Galati, and Shoto all looking at Coach TJ Gray for the play because Coach Gray wanted Shoto to come get the ball. The play developed a little too slowly for the Scarlet Hawks. Now they only have 11 with Ortiz still out high. Inside 10 on the shot clock. Here's Shoto just now taking it into the basket. Shoto lays it up and scores. So while that possession sort of was broken for Illinois Tech, that was definitely a broken play. Shoto drove inside and scored once they got inside 10 on the shot clock. Here's Gentili. Gentili, pass to the corner. Stoudemire, escape dribble around Galati, steps in for the easier 2, but he missed that one just the same. Ortiz outlet for Galati. Stoudemire closed in defensively. He fouled Galati, and Galati scored. What a play by Nick Galati to get out in front of Kobe Stoudemire. Great hustle by Stoudemire to get back into the play, but he knocked Galati to the floor, and the Scarlet Hawks will look for a potential 3-point play on the other side of the break. Illinois Tech with an 8-0 run. They've cut the deficit back down to 9, but every time they cut it under double digits, it seems Rose Hulman fires back with a run of their own. Can the Scarlet Hawks continue the momentum? We'll find out when Galati goes to the line on the other side of this break here on the Scarlet Hawks Broadcast Network and on YouTube Live. Illinois Tech trailing by 9 with 10:39 remaining in the ball game. Nick Galati with the basket prior to the timeout there. And Galati, only 4 points in the game, but a chance to complete a three-point play, which, once again, the momentum has been back and forth. Illinois Tech, every time they get the deficit under double digits, Rose Holman strikes for a pair, if not 3 buckets, to extend the lead back. Rose Holman has led by as many as 17 at 55-38, but Illinois Tech currently on an 8-0 run with Galati looking to complete the three-point play and extend that run to 9-0. And Galati does just that. 9-0 run for Illinois Tech. Deficit is 8. And now with 10 and a half minutes to go, the energy continuing to pick up in the Keating Center. The momentum in favor of the Scarlet Hawks at the moment, but they're still down on the scoreboard. Smith to Torres. Torres guarded by Filipovic. Schmitz back out there. Schmitz got a quick breather. Torres swings to the corner. Savovic. They find Cole Pride. Pride for 3, and he cashed it in all net. Cole Pride, the 6'9 junior from Osgood, Indiana, buries the 3, and the lead for Rose Holman back to double digits at 11. 5 in the game for Pride. Galati up top to Filipovic. Finding Shoto. Ortiz, Filipovic, great job with the extra pass. Galati for 3, and the Galati knocks it down. Illinois Tech rewarded for the extra pass. Galati was also knocked down himself. Illinois Tech wanted a potential 4-point play. No whistle, but the Scarlet Hawks get the 3. Galati with 8. Smith over to Savovic. Rose Holman going with that corner stay offense. It's been Savovic and Schultz. Offensive foul as Savovic knocked Galati to the floor. Coach Gray ran up to Nicholas Ortiz and gave him instructions. He was trying to call something out prior to the offensive foul, but Illinois Tech gets the benefit of the doubt on the whistle here. Shoto to inbound to Filipovic and right back. Coach TJ Gray giving Bryce Shoto the instructions. I'm sure Coach Gray happy to have Shoto out there, gives him another premier ball handler. Of course, last year when you had Vortez and Watatani would be the ball handler. Vortez, of course, would ball handle majority of the time, but he was a scorer. Carter, turnaround jumper, leaves it long right in the hands of Torres, who bobbled it before he made the grab. Smith kicks it across court. Savovic for 3. Ortiz got airborne to contest. Savovic missed it. Rebounded by Filipovic. Shoto over to Carter and right back. Shoto right at Ortiz. Left hand lay in is good for Bryce Shoto. Shoto with 10 in the game. Illinois Tech back within 6. Fun Saturday afternoon at the Keating Center. Pride, traveling violation, turns it over to Illinois Tech. Pride made the catch, and he sort of got caught in between passing or dribbling to back down. As a result, he turned it over on the travel, and Coach Nick Sales has seen enough. He'll like a timeout. Illinois Tech back within 6 with 8:29 to go in the game. What an effort from the Scarlet Hawks, but Rose Holman looking to solve this Scarlet Hawk comeback effort. It's a 30. The official actually said 30-second timeout. So actually this will be our immediate timeout. We will take a quick break, and we will return here to the Keating Sports Center, where Illinois Tech, they're starting to rally back, down 6 here on YouTube Live and on the Scarlet Hawks Broadcast Network. Another season of Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawks men's basketball here at the Keating Sports Center is underway. Illinois Tech lost the home opener Wednesday to Trine, trailing by 6 right now at the hands of the Rose-Hulman Fighting Engineers. But Scarlet Hawks will be in action again on Wednesday, November the 19th, when they take on the Lake Forest Foresters right here at 7 p.m. Our next presentation of Scarlet Hawks athletics will be Tuesday. That's when the Illinois Tech women's basketball team makes their home opener, and they will take on the Eureka College Red Devils. But right now, the Scarlet Hawks taking on the Fighting Engineers, down by 6 in men's basketball action. Both teams with 12 turnovers apiece. 15 points off the 12 from Illinois Tech have led. The 12 turnovers have led to 15 points for Rose-Hulman. The 12 for Rose-Hulman has led to 14 for Illinois Tech. So both teams doing their best to take advantage of those turnovers. It's an evenly played matchup. Ortiz wanted Carter on the feed. Couldn't quite get it to him. Illinois Tech still working here with 10 on the shot clock. Ortiz over to Shoto. Shoto back to Ortiz. Illinois Tech has kept the ball in front of their bench this entire possession. Ortiz for 3 to bail him out. No good. Filipovich got involved with Pride. They have Pride tied up in the backcourt. Pride maybe got away with a bit of a walk. And now here's Smith. Inside feed for Torres. 2-hand slam. And that worked out for Rose-Hulman. Pride maybe could have been, you could have called a foul, you could have called a travel. The officials made no call, and it led to Torres getting an easy slam. 8-point advantage for Rose-Hulman. Torres with 6. Ortiz inside, knocked down by Pride, and he'll go to the line. Nicholas Ortiz with 11 leads the way for Illinois Tech in scoring. That foul on Pride is his 3rd. Ortiz 4 of 13 from the field. He's got a pair of threes made in the ballgame, 2 of 6 from out there. He's only been to the free throw line one other time this afternoon. He made that free throw. And now this trip will look to cut into that Rose-Hulman lead and try to make it a 6-point Scarlet Hawk deficit. Ortiz makes the first. John Davis the 3rd and Isaiah Dudley back in for Illinois Tech. Dudley 4 points, but 0 for 6 from the field. Davis has exactly 6 points, 3 of 4 from the field. Coach T.J. Gray with instructions for Igor Filipovich standing right next to me here at the table. You can see it there at the bottom of your screen, right above the scoreboard. Ortiz looking to make this a perfect trip to the line for the Scarlet Hawks. Good to see Ortiz back out there. Was one of those primary ball handlers I was talking about earlier for Illinois Tech last season. They had Ortiz, Watatani, and Vortez. A lot of different looks. We have that many different primary ball handlers. And, of course, Carter can ball handle as well. Now with Ortiz and Shoto, you can put Ortiz off the ball more at his natural position. Shoto went through the legs to knock the ball free. Torres for 3. In and out. Rebounded by Dudley. Dudley had the ball stolen by Gentili. Gentili and Shoto both fall to the floor, and that's a foul against Illinois Tech. Foul on Shoto. Shoto almost went through the legs to get a steal earlier in the possession. The ball got knocked loose here, and then Shoto knocked Gentili to the floor for the foul, his first. Boxing 1 inbound set for Rose-Hulman as Nate Smith awaits the handoff to the win column for the first time here in 25-26. Last season, 17-10. They went 13-5 in Heartland Collegiate Athletic Conference play and have a 6-point lead here despite the miss from Christian Torres. Garrison Carter hands it off to Ortiz. Ortiz and Shoto looking at each other as now Ortiz looks inside to Carter. Carter driving down low, working inside on Cole Pride. He tries to kick it out to Dudley. Dudley lost the ball, had it knocked away by Smith, and here comes Rose-Hulman the other way. Smith laid it up, no good. Gentili with the rebound, had it blocked by Shoto. Shoto able to rip the ball away, and now lob it ahead of the court to Carter. Carter inside, takes the contact from Pride, no foul. Davis gets the ball, blocked by Torres, rebounded again. This time, Billy makes it 63-56 54, Rose Hulman. We apologize for any technical difficulties that we may be experiencing here inside the Keating Center. Hectic possession back and forth there between the two teams, leading to the corner three from Gentili. And now a 30-second timeout by TJ Gray and the Scarlet Hawks. So Illinois Tech, they got that deficit to 6. It's set there for quite some time, and then Evan Gentili buried the 3 to make it a 9-point Fighting Engineers advantage. Rose Hulman leading this ball game thanks to the play of Joey Schmitz. Schmitz with 30 points in the game, leading all scorers by a large margin. Nicholas Ortiz with 13 leads the way for Illinois Tech. That's good for second in the scoring lead amongst all individuals on the court. Rose Hulman lost to Wabash on Wednesday. They'll now, after today, they'll head to the Wheaton tournament next weekend, where they will see the University of Wisconsin lacrosse on Friday, and then they will see the winner of the other matchup in the Wheaton tournament on Saturday, or the winner or the loser on Saturday, should I say. And then, of course, Illinois Tech, after today, they'll see Lake Forest on Wednesday, and then they'll hit the road for a long trip. As now Bryce Shoto goes inside for 2, and he's fouled by Nate Smith. Have to love the energy from Shoto, as Shoto worked his way inside for another 2. Shoto now with 12 in the game, and an efficient 12. He's 6 of 7 from the field. Illinois Tech within 7. Hanging tough with the Fighting Engineers. Shoto with a bit of a push shot for him at the free throw line as he makes that free throw to get his first of the day. He's 1 of 3 at the line. 13 points. Smith, guarded by Dudley. Oh, Smith wheeled out when he probably could have went to the rim. Here's Gentili. Ball fake, got Ortiz, and he knocked it down. Gentili with the last couple of threes for Rose Hulman, now has 8 in the game, and once again continues to stifle that Illinois Tech momentum. Carter over to Shoto. Shoto pass to the corner. Ortiz for 3. He got it right back. Gentili and Ortiz going back and forth from downtown, and now they'll match up head-to-head on the ball. Gentili to Torres. Torres sort of held there by Dudley. Torres inside. Dudley got a hand on it, but Carter was there as well, and it leads to the foul. The foul will go on Dudley, his second. Nick Galati at the table getting ready to check in for Illinois Tech. Scarlet Hawks down by 6, just under 5 minutes to be played in the game. Still have one more media timeout. And then in terms of the team timeout, Illinois Tech with 2, Rose Hulman with 1. Christian Torres is at the free throw line. Torres has 6 points, but he missed a pair of free throws earlier in the game, and he hits that one. I was going to say he adds to his missed total. You can see him actually smiling as he gets some words from his teammates. He thought he was going to miss another one as well. But now Torres splits a pair, and he has 7 in the game. The lead is 7. Oh, Shoto with a nice feed to Davis. Davis dropped it, but he hit Carter, who dropped a 3. Garrison Carter with 12, and Illinois Tech extending the defense, down 4 with 4:44 in the game. Smith, guarded by Shoto. Good defense by Shoto. Great game from Shoto. Smith gave it up to Gentili, guarded by Davis. A lot of numerical matchups in this game today with 3 guarding 3 here. We got 11 guarding 11 as well. Davis could have got called for the reach, and good call by the official. Davis did sort of reach in that back pocket. The official initially missed it, but he did call it after all, and that's the first foul against Davis. 4:22 to go. Smith to inbound. Boxing 1 inbound set. Ball comes into Pride. Guarded by Carter. Pride to Gentili, another 3. He had hit his last 2 from that spot. He couldn't hit that one. Carter wanted a foul. He didn't get it, but now Illinois Tech into the front court. Coach TJ Gray with instructions for Shoto. Shoto Guarded out high on the wing by Schmidt. He drives to the baseline. He hits Galati for three. And Galati hits the three. Scarlet Hawks back within one. They're knocking them down from deep. Illinois Tech extending the defense with under 4 minutes to go in the game. Smith guarded by Davis. Oh, Davis, an unnecessary gamble. Pride rejected by Carter at the rim. Dudley for Davis. Oh, what a catch and lay! A beautiful pass from Dudley. Right in the bucket, and Davis got the lay in right in the bucket as well. Illinois Tech by one. Scarlet Hawks with their first lead since the score was 15-10 earlier in the game. Illinois led by as many as 5 at 15-10 earlier in the ball game. First time the Scarlet Hawks have led since it was 15-12 back with 10:36 to go in the first half. Timeout rolls Hulman. Scarlet Hawks by one. We'll take a break. Let's see what happens here. The energy in the Keating Center has picked up on this Saturday afternoon. Scarlet Hawks by one when we return to the Keating Center on YouTube Live and the Scarlet Hawks Broadcast Network. The next time you can catch the Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawks men's basketball team in action will be Wednesday, November the 19th at 7 p.m. when the Scarlet Hawks take on the Lake Forest College Foresters. And our next presentation of Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawks athletics will be Tuesday when the women's basketball team takes on the Eureka College Red Devils at 7 p.m. right here inside the Keating Sports Center. Right now inside the Keating Sports Center, the Scarlet Hawks have a 1-point advantage. They lead at 68-67. What a beautiful pass by Isaiah Dudley, finding John Davis III to give Illinois Tech the 1-point advantage. And now Illinois Tech, after trailing by 17, it was 55-38. Now Illinois Tech leads it by one. First lead for the Scarlet Hawks since the first half at 15-12. Gentili, backdoor to Schmitz. Oh, Schmitz left it long on the corkscrew layup. Schmitz, who's been shorthanded all afternoon. He has 30 in the game, but he left it long looking for 32. Ortiz to Galati. Down low to Carter. Guarded by Pride. Carter with the drop step to the basket. Missed it. Rebounded by Dudley. He goes up strong for two. Isaiah Dudley giving Illinois Tech some breathing room as the Scarlet Hawks now lead by 3. That's also Dudley's first field goal of the game. 1 of 7 from the floor. Studemeyer with the chance of defense going off here at the Keating Center. Gentili for 3. In and out. Rebounded by Davis and a foul. And the foul will go against Galati, and that is a very tough call for Illinois Tech. Galati called for holding Pride. Galati goes 6'2". Pride is listed as 6'9". And while boxing out the bigger man, Galati was called for holding the shorts. And that will give it to Rose Hulman. It's 1-1 as Ebenezer Nunu gives the team the instructions to box out. Pride has 5 in the game. He's 2 for 2 at the line. The first from Pride on the 1-1 is off the rim. And now a collision in front of the basket. Torres gets the board and scores. Illinois Tech boxed out so well that Carter and Dudley knocked each other down, and they left it to Torres to score. Scarlet Hawks still by 1, but I'm sure you will, if you're Illinois Tech, you would prefer the defensive board on that last trip. Davis for 3, off the rim. Pride with the ball on the rebound, and here's Studemeyer. Final 2 minutes here inside the Keating Sports Center. Pride guarded by Carter. Gives it up to Schmitz. Schmitz to Gentili. Gentili drives baseline. Tried to go with the layup. Partially blocked by Dudley. Studemeyer gets it. Pride to Torres. Coach Gray is saying the shot clock should not have been reset, but Illinois Tech steals it away with 100 seconds. Carter to the rim. Lays it in. No foul. Carter scores around Pride. Carter has 14. Illinois Tech by 3. 90 seconds to go in the game. Gentili guarded by Dudley. Here's Torres. Over to Schmitz. Schmitz. Torres, 3 on the way. Off the rim. Carter's going to watch it go. Illinois Tech ball. Minute 15 to go. 75 seconds remaining in the game. 72-69 Scarlet Hawks. Rose Hulman looking to extend their defense. Illinois Tech only has one ball handler in the backcourt. Shoto recognizing that. He's calling for Ortiz or someone to come help on the inbound here with Carter. Carter gets it to Davis. The pass back to Carter. Carter fumbled it. He got it out of traffic, but all his effort to pass it up the court was knocked down by Gentili and stolen by Rose Hulman. 2 for Smith. Smith with 6. Davis to Carter. Illinois Tech, they want to avoid holding the ball in the backcourt here. And now Carter gets into the front court. Coach Gray saying he needs one. He gets the timeout with 52.2 to go in the game. 72-71. Scarlet Hawks by 1. 52.2 to go in the game. Coach Ebenezer Nunu trying to clarify how many timeouts Illinois Tech has. They have the one full. Both teams with a timeout remaining in the game. And what a game it's been here on this November Saturday afternoon in Chicago. The Scarlet Hawks trailed by as many as 17 points. It was 55-38 here in the second half. Illinois Tech led by a pair of runs, including a 8-0 run at one point. Actually, maybe 9-0 run when Galati finished that 3-point play. Rallied back into the ball game. And Illinois Tech, despite trailing by 17, they now lead it by 1 with 52.2 to go in the game. Joey Schmitz with 30 to lead all scorers for Rose Hulman. Nicholas Ortiz with 16 to lead for Illinois Tech. Isaiah Dudley to inbound for the Scarlet Hawks. It'll be Dudley, Ortiz, Galati, Carter, and Shoto for the Scarlet Hawks. And the ball comes into Ortiz, guarded by Gentili. Shoto shows high, guarded by Smith. Smith almost knocked it away from him. Shoto back to Ortiz. And now back to Shoto. Shot clock at 9. Shoto looking. He gets it to Carter. Shot clock at 5. The pass to Galati knocked away by Schmitz. Illinois Tech will keep possession with 4 on the shot clock. 34.2 to go in the game. Smith, Piantek, Pride, Schmitz, and Gentili. The 5 for Rose Hulman with Shoto to inbound. 4 on the shot clock. Shoto looking for somebody. He gets Ortiz. Ortiz with 2. Ortiz could have got a travel. Actually, for Illinois Tech, they'll turn it over either way. It won't be a travel officially. It'll be a shot clock violation. And now Rose Hulman with 29.6 will take over. Fighting Engineers down by 1. They'll have the ball here. And before Nick Sales' team can inbound it, he'll take a timeout. What a game it's been inside the Keating Sports Center. And while I have a moment, I'd like to shout out my mom and dad. Today is actually my birthday, so I want to say shout out to my mom and dad for another year of life. But here inside the Keating Sports Center, the Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawks with a 1-point advantage, 72-71. They're actually putting 30.2 on the clock, so the shot clock will be in play here for Rose Hulman. So that's a bit of an ally for Illinois Tech because it sort of keeps Rose Hulman from just running it down and taking a shot. But even still, you would think maybe Rose Hulman, ideally here, they're going to go probably to maybe 2 or 3 seconds, let that thing fly. And then as the flight of the ball is determined, that probably is where the game will end. But let's see what the Fighting Engineers draw up here. This is a team in Rose Hulman that went 17-10 last season. 13-5 in their conference, the Heartland Collegiate Athletic Conference, the HCAC. They lost their season opener to Wabash on Wednesday. But here in their second outing of the season, it's been Joey Schmitz, 30 points in the game, 11 of 18 from the field, 7 of 9 from 3. Illinois Tech, 4-21 a year ago, 3-15 in conference play in the NAC. 0-1 to start their season, but here in their second outing, Nicholas Ortiz leads the way with 16 points. Garrison Carter has 14. Bryce Shoto has 13. It'll be Smith, Schmitz, Savovich, Gentili, and Pride That'll be the 5 for Rose Hulman against Ortiz, Davis, Carter, Shoto, and Dudley. Schmitz to inbound. He's got Smith in the backcourt with him. The ball comes into Gentili, and here's Smith. Smith guarded by Davis. Smith into the front court. Smith finding Schmitz, guarded by Ortiz. Here's Schmitz behind the back dribble to the basket, defended by Carter and Ortiz. A late whistle as Dudley got the rebound, and a foul, which sends the entire Scarlet Hawk coaching staff into a frenzy. Third foul against Carter. And now Rose Hulman will send Schmitz to the free throw line. So the third foul on Carter will send Rose Hulman. So they'll send Rose Holman's leading scorer to the free throw line. And Schmitz, last season, of course, the leading scorer for this same team. He was an 89% free throw shooter. He only missed 4 free throws last year, 35 of 39. He hits the first here. Game tied at 72 with 15.2 to go in the game. Can Illinois Tech win this one, or will Rose Hulman take the lead here? And Schmitz gives them the lead by 1. Carter into Davis. Davis likely going to dribble into the front court and burn the timeout. Scarlet Hawks burn the timeout with 12.3 to go in the game. It's 73-72, Rose Hulman. And honestly, this game's starting to give me deja vu of the Illinois Tech-Wisconsin Lutheran game last season. It was December 14th last year when Illinois Tech had the 1-point win on the Garrison Carter assist to Dario Biaggi to beat, at the time, the number 6th ranked team in NCAA Division III basketball, the Wisconsin Lutheran Warriors. Well, right now against Rose Hulman, the Scarlet Hawks find themselves basically in the same position. They're going to inbound in the same spot, down 1, but clearly much more time in this one. It was about 5 seconds last season against Wisconsin Lutheran. 12.3 here for Illinois Tech to try to get the go-ahead or potentially game-winning bucket, depending on how much time is left. Ortiz with 16, Carter with 14, Shoto with 13, Galati with 11. Those are the 4 leaders for Illinois Tech. Joey Schmitz with those 2 free throws now has 32 points in the game, and everyone else for Rose Hulman is under double figures. Torres has 9, Gentili has 8, and then they have Smith with 6. So Illinois Tech will inbound just to the right of the table. Ortiz, Dudley, Davis, Carter, and Shoto. No timeouts for Illinois Tech. Ortiz looking. Who's it going to be? It's Shoto. Shoto to the basket. Was looking for Dudley. That's the same play they ran against Wisconsin Lutheran last year. Here's Carter on the drive. Carter, step back. Partially deflected by Pride. Rebound by Ortiz, who goes up strong. No good on the finish. The ball was tapped in by Dudley, and there was no whistle. And it appears that is the ball game. And that will do it, as the Rose Hulman Fighting Engineers will take a 73-72 win from the Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawks. Scarlet Hawks wanted a foul down low. The officials said no foul, and the ball game comes to an end with Rose Hulman winning by 1 point inside the Keating Center. Scarlet Hawks literally ran the same play they ran last year in their 1-point win against Wisconsin Lutheran. It was Shoto who went to the basket. He was going to drop it off to Dudley for the last-second layup. But unfortunately, the play wasn't there. Illinois Tech had to reroute. And on the missed 3 from Carter, Ortiz got the rebound, tried to draw the foul. No foul called. And Rose Hulman will get their first win of the season. So they'll head to the Wheaton tournament with a record of 1-1 on the season. Coach Nick Sales with his 47th win, 47-36 all-time in his coaching career. Coach T.J. Gray goes to 27-50 in his coaching career, as Illinois Tech now falls to 0-2 to begin the season. 32 from Joey Schmitz to lead the way for Rose Hulman as they get their first win of the season. Great effort from the Scarlet Hawks here on this Saturday afternoon inside the Keating Center. But when it came down to it, the play from Ortiz didn't lead to a foul, and the bucket from Dudley did not count as Illinois Tech loses 73-72. So Rose Hulman, led by the 32 from Joey Schmitz, they get the win. get their first win to go to 1-1. Illinois Tech falls to 0-2, and the Scarlet Hawks will